Hey everyone, Connor with Workzone here. This video is going to cover how you can create custom project request forms. It's important to note that this feature is part of our Pro and Enterprise licensing. If you'd like to learn more about adding this to your Workzone licensing, please feel free to reach out to us. To start, an administrator in your site will need to navigate to the Settings tool. Here, under the request heading here, you'll see the option for custom forms. And you can build a new custom form by hitting the Add Custom Form button. I'll give it a title, and then I'll select Access Type. You have the option to choose whether this form is available to just Workzone users, or for teams using our public requesting feature, you'll be able to designate if this form is only available to non-users of Workzone to be submitted publicly, or you can choose both. I'll go ahead and just grab the first one here, and I'll say that this form can be submitted to all workspaces. Now I'm also able to select who gets notified when this request comes in. So I'll say maybe just myself and Amy, and then I'll create that form. So here to start, I'll customize the form settings, so that includes the title of the form. I can add some instructions that will show up at the top of the form, and I also have the option to customize that access type again if needed. And here, a really nice feature is that you can add lead time. This is a great way to prevent requests from being submitted with unrealistic deadlines. So for example, I'll say that we need at least 10 business days to complete this type of request. That means that my requesters will not be able to select a date prior to the 10 days of lead time when they're submitting this request. All right, so now that I've customized my form settings, I'm now going to go through and just start building out this form. I can add questions here, and when you add a question, there's different types of input fields that you can select. I'm going to go ahead and grab the drop-down option, and I'm now able to choose whether or not this question is required, and actually I should go ahead and enter a title. All right, so once I've added my question and designated if it's required or not, I can go ahead and add my options for this drop-down. You can continue to add additional options here by just hitting this plus button. You also have the ability to reorganize these answers as well. You'll notice that this is automatically showing up on my form here. I'll add another question here. We'll say text area, and I'll require this. And you'll see it's already added there to my form. Now, once I'm done adding my questions, it is possible to drag and drop to reorganize them as well. And you can also add new sections of questions. So maybe I'm adding a new section here, and this will be my content section. I might add some instructions there. And for folks that are using the custom logic features, this is where you'll actually be able to implement custom logic. I can say, always show this section, and you'll see that my content section is always showing. Or I might choose when, and this will then allow me to only display this question if students is chosen for my prior question. So that's a short example here of how that custom logic could be added, but we do have some specific content that walks you through utilizing those custom logic features if needed. I'm going to go ahead and just add a test question here so you can see how that will show up with custom logic. So once you're done adding your questions and sections, you have the ability to preview this request form in the upper right-hand corner, which can really just give you a sense of what it's going to look like for the requester. Now you'll see the questions that I've added here, and you'll also see the lead time. So I'll go ahead and choose the students option here, and we should see that custom logic display the next section of the form, which we do. You'll also see that requesters will have the option to attach files and documents when they're submitting this form. All right, so going back to the form editor, the final thing that you'll do once you're done creating your custom form is activate the form. You can do that both here in the form itself, or when you go back to the forms list, you're able to enable and disable forms here as well. For questions about these topics or any other topics in Workzone, please feel free to reach out to our support via chat or email. You can find our contact information listed in your Workzone site under our Help menu, represented by the question mark in the upper right-hand corner of your site.